Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Really appreciate you taking out time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Greatly appreciate it. Today we're talking about a Star Wars game. And a game that, even though I never bought it, kind of convinced me to get a GameCube. This is Star Wars Rogue Squadron 2 Rogue Leader. I know I say I'm not the biggest Star Wars fan, right? But when Star Wars is like when I'm enjoying it, right? It is fantastic. I just for some reason kind of be avoiding it. I don't know why. Don't worry about it. But this game in particular, right? If you are unfamiliar with the Rogue Squadron games, right? They're all, ship based. You're flying around in different ships, and well, not even just ships, but like vehicles from the Star Wars universe, right? So you're in space, you can fly in every direction. You got different weapons depending on what particular vehicle you're in. And so a lot of them do things that are based on the movies, right? You go through the missions that happen in the actual movie. So you're part of these different squadrons, and you're flying the different ships for those different events, depending on what side you're playing. Because sometimes you're playing on, the light side. Sometimes you're playing on the dark side, just depending on what the game's options are. And this one in particular, I remember going into a Walmart, and this is I want to say the Christmas of 2002, if I'm not mistaken. And PlayStation, GameCube, Xbox, they're all on the table. And I'm a PlayStation person, just because PS1 was crazy. So I'm like, okay, 64 really wasn't my jam. I might do the PS2. That seems like the move. I'm like, okay, let me figure out something. And I went into Walmart, and I'm just I'm walking around and check the toys out, whatnot. Then I see the different demo setups, right? And this is before somebody's bitten off the right analog or the C stick or something weird. These are fresh demo stations. So I see Star Wars, and I'm like, I don't really play no Star Wars game. Honestly, the last Star Wars game I owned was Masters of Terra Kasai, so that lets you know how I was feeling about Star Wars games at the moment. And I'm like, well, let me just grab this controller, this weird looking controller. Let me feel it. Let me see what I got going on here. I'm looking and I'm trying to figure out, what this is about. And I'm like, oh yeah, all right, I remember this, the Death Star battle. This is a little demo action. And we get to the part where you have to go and blow up the air vent, right? And you have that narrow pathway, and you're playing Luke, and there's so much going on, and all of the sounds from the movie are coming, and there's so much action going on. If you fly too high, you get shot down, as I did because I'm hard-headed. And the way it just recaptured that event for me, when it's splicing in the movie style graphics, when you are selecting a vehicle and you have the narrator telling you about every vehicle, even if you can't actually play that vehicle in the mission, just giving that aircraft description, all of those things, it really felt like you were getting to be a part of that universe. And visually, this is coming from, again, this is PlayStation going to PS2. There were some graphical leaps in a lot of ways, but certain games came out the gate swinging hard. And the GameCube, to me, during this generation, had some of the best looking games. I don't care what anybody says. And this was one of those games where it was oh no, they figured out how to make this look. Obviously it doesn't look 100% real, but they were able to blend the live action footage with the GameCube footage in a way that I was just oh, this is the next level. So I ended up getting the GameCube. Did not get this game because there were so many games to pick from. Yeah, it was a tough time, right? But this. I knew if I had this system, I would get to enjoy some really good games, so I had to pick it. Now I know you Star Wars fans. Talk to me about this game in particular. We can go on about every Star Wars game that that hits that quality threshold, but I just want to know about this game. What were your thoughts on it? What were your feelings on this particular entry? I appreciate you letting me reminisce with you. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.